I'm your host, Don Vito. I want to thank y'all for tuning into my show. Um, Yesterday we had a technical difficulty with one of my guests. He goes by the name of Tuffy. He's a pioneer from back in the days, video music box. Now he's a actor, casting director, and he has also a project called the Tuffy Project. So he's gonna come back on the show today, make up from yesterday, and we're gonna continue the show. So I appreciate y'all for support and tuning in. But I want y'all to go to my YouTube channel, Vibing with Don Vito on YouTube, like and subscribe. We got a lot of amazing guests that have been on my show that y'all didn't get a chance to check out with amazing stories. So go to Vibing with Don Vito on YouTube and check out all the wonderful interviews that I had on this so far. Now, like I said, we got Tuffy coming on momentarily. But right now, before I go into that, also, you know that I'm a co-owner and co-founder of the Beat 139. The Beat 139 is a Harlem show that we created 3 years ago. It's a radio show. And I just want to let y'all know that the Beat 139 will be back for the fall season. We took a little break because of COVID. You know, we got new guests. We got new stories, entertainment. You know, it's all good. Everybody know about the Beat 139. We got nominated for a couple of awards. We've been on TV shows, been on cook shows. We do red carpet events. We do a lot of stuff in the community. So we coming back. Our whole team is coming back. You know, we coming back to do it for Harlem. You know, we represent Harlem, the Beat 139. You know, Don Vito, representative. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all for coming on. Got my man Tuffy about to pull up. You know, Tuffy video music box. You know, you got to give him respect because back in the days, you know, that was our way to show, you know, the world, but a lot of people who was like doubting the rap game back in the days, that was a way to showing our creativity visually, opposed to records. You know, we had a video channel which came on once a week called Video Music Box. You know what I'm saying? That came on and you could see the videos, you know, and you could see the work and you could see, you know, people working and doing their thing. And we got to pay homage to Video Music Box. You know, I see a lot of people paying homage to a lot of things, but without Video Music Box, people wouldn't even know, you know what I'm saying, that we rock like that far as, you know, with talent and get to see your face and get to see you move. They help you sell records. They help you move units. So right now, my man Tuffy's coming on, Video Music Box, you know, turn the lights around, doing other big things. So we're going to continue from yesterday, and thank y'all for tuning in.
Good morning, well, good afternoon. What's up? How are you?
We back, homie.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Yesterday was so crazy.
Listen, man, show business. You know, you've been in this a long time. Everything don't work like clockwork. People understand that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just rolling with the punches, right?
Yes, sir. So how you doing today, man?
I'm good. I'm better today. I got my hypervolt for the pain.
Yeah. Hey, yo, that shit worked too, man.
Oh my God, I love that thing. I don't have a girlfriend. I have that machine.
Yo, I got that. You know, I'm a trainer also. I use that on my clients and stuff like that. They love that, man.
I think listen, I just ordered a second one for my cousin who's working out and his body's beat up. You know, we ain't 40 no more. We ain't 30 no more.
Yeah.
But we blessed to be here doing what we do.
Absolutely. So, Tuffy, we're going to take it back, you know, like I was telling everybody, but what happened yesterday. But so let's talk about COVID-19 once again. How did it affect your life, brother?
It's been hard for everyone. We've all dealt with it, but it's also been a blessing in its own ways. We lost, people constantly talk about they don't have time to do things. So this has forced them to find the time. Mm-hmm. And anyone who hasn't utilized that time to create, to inspire, to aspire to greater heights their own ways, then they never really had a problem with time. They have a problem with decision making. Mm-hmm. So yes, we've all lost people. I buried a few friends. I buried an uncle. COVID-19 has definitely affected us all. And on this particular job, we got to get tested 3-4 times a week. If you're one of the lead actors, you're being tested every day that you shoot. And in some places where we shoot around New Mexico, people are being tested twice a day, morning and then afternoon, before they go back to their hotels or their residences. So
Wow.
it's really it's official. It's official. I feel like I have no more nose hairs because I done swabbed to death. But God is good, man. I'd rather be alive and healthy and working than wondering. And that's what we can't do. We can't sit at home and quarantine our minds.
Right.
Just because everybody's a quarantine, we got to get out here and do other things.
Yeah, you got to put forth the action because this is not a game, man.
Correct? You got to recreate. Got to recreate.
Mm-hmm.
Recycle, recreate, and reestablish yourself as whatever your next move is. This is chess.
Yes.
Always got to look at the next move. You got to look 2 moves ahead.
Yes, sir. So let's talk about Black Lives Matter, man. I mean, how did that affect you and the people around you?
I think that it's a beautiful thing to see, one, these young people taking the lead. I love that. We always look to the next generation, to what they're going to do. And you and I have seen several generations fail, including in some ways. We may have a lot of successful friends who have done some great things, but the way it's going right now, change is in the air like never before. I thought that Obama being president was really going to start to wake some people up, and it did. But what's going on right now with the hate that's in the White House, with the division that's in the city, with the divisiveness that's in our country, we are starting to see some amazing change. So Black Lives Matters, even though to some people it's a political organization, the mantra is what's really the main change. It's starting to see people who are our allies are working toward making us all better people, because the one thing that's lacked in all of us in some ways is humanity, compassion, and empathy for one another.
Yes.
The fact that Black people are starting to get an equality within the community, not necessarily in money, not necessarily in reparations, but just in the communities they live in, is the difference maker.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So we got a lot of people tuning in. You know, I just want to, get people to know, the Tuffy story, where you come from, and, how you came up in entertainment field and stuff like that. So where you from, Tuffy?
I'm from the Bronx. I mean, I've lived in other places. I've lived in Mount Vernon. I've lived in Yonkers. I've lived in Brooklyn. I've lived in Queens, but I'm a Bronx boy through and through. My parents met in Melrose Projects. They will be married 60 years next year, still together.
Wow.
I believe in marriage, although my ex-wife did not. And you know what? I'm not even mad at her. She had to learn somehow, and I learned too. And it costs a whole lot, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Every lesson is a lesson that you choose to utilize learning from. And I learned a lot from that lesson. So marriage is a beautiful thing. I have been doing television, film, production since the late 80s. My first music video was Money Earned in Mount Vernon for Heavy D and the Boys.
Yes.
I go back with that. I go back with the record companies and going on tour and laughing at infinite artists who are friends of ours. I've been very blessed to do what I do. I've been very blessed to create and cultivate relationships throughout the industry.
Yes.
I worked at Polygram. I worked at Epic. I worked at Capitol. Over the years, I've had great relationships there. I still have a lot of those great relationships. Even though the industry is not what it once was, the people who are still alive, God rest his soul, Andre Harrell. And I love that interview you did with Wendy. It was phenomenal. I love Wendy.
Yes.
And I pray for her and Lil Dre all the time, because loss is hard. Loss is hard.
Yes.
And it's harder because of the quarantine. But we've seen a lot of friends come and go in this industry. So I'm very thankful for the ones that I've been able to cultivate and manifest and still hold on to. As far as Video Music Box is concerned.
Yeah, let's talk about Video Music Box, man. Let's talk about, I was just talking about Video Music Box, right? And I was telling people how Video Music Box paved the way for where we are today. Period.
100%.
Let's talk about that. The birth of Video Music Box.
Video Music Box was started because Ralph McDaniels and Lionel Martin, they were both they're both producers at WPIX and Channel 11. They worked on 42nd Street, and they worked with my sister, and they really were trying to figure out what was missing in the game. So MTV wasn't on TV yet, and Ralph and Lionel decided that they wanted to try local programming, and because it was a new show and because they were trying some things, it was an immediate hit. It was such an immediate hit that they were the only local video show in the country, actually in the world, if you really look at it, that was reporting to Billboard, to SoundScan, to all of the companies that monitor the financial, the record playing, BMI, ASCAP. Video Music Box was reporting to them. So that gave them immediate relationship with the world and with the industry. Video Music Box, Ralph McDaniel's baby. Even when Lionel left Video Music Box because he moved to LA, Ralph kept going. And it's been 37 years now. And Video Music Box was the quintessential opportunity to see artists, records, and videos and interviews in the hood in the beginning.
Yes.
If you weren't watching, the Friday Night Videos wasn't on TV yet with Carlos. D's Pump It Up was several years later. MTV started 2 years after us, or a year and a half. So Video Music Box was the first. They were the original. They were the blueprint. And Ted Demme and Jonathan Demme, who are two of the instrumentalists who helped MTV become what it was, both gave Ralph and all of us our props for the work we did.
Right.
Came in a little later. Video Music Box started before me, but I was already working with Ralph at Classic Concepts, making music videos. And when I threw my birthday party for my 21st birthday, Ralph came with his brother, but couldn't get his brother in because, you know, I talked about that yesterday with you. The club's back, like, nah, no ID, you look young, go home. So Ralph took his brother home, and I interviewed my friends who were there, and Salt and Pepper, Heavy D, Pete Rock, Dana Dane, and because I was able to interview them, like, you know, they were friends. I wasn't trying to become a host, but who knew? The letters started coming in, the interviews started coming in, and because of Video Music Box, I had the pleasure of interviewing Janet Jackson and Brandy and Aaliyah and just great artists over the years. You know, we were at the Apollo when the Apollo wasn't letting nobody film downstairs in the green room. So we've had some blessings. Ralph has 37,000 hours of footage.
Dang. 37,000 hours.
Dude, when he said that to me last year, he's just started digitalizing everything so it can become an app so people can watch everything. It's going to be crazy.
Work.
My dude. and you know, we were at every party, every function.
Everything.
Every music conference. We were there.
You were there.
Woo!
Yep.
I miss Jack the Rap. I miss those days when music conferences mattered. That's when the industry was fun.
Yeah, very fun.
Yes, sir. So I'm blessed. I mean, Video Music Box was really the end-all, be-all for me. It really gave me a voice, an avenue, a lane. I thank Ralph, I thank Lionel, and I thank New York, because New York is what we were, the quintessential party vibe across the board.
Yes.
We did it all. If you were a New York, back to LA and all parts of the West Coast or Miami, New York will always have the original voice for hip hop and I don't want to say the music culture because that would be disrespectful, but so much of what transpired in New York dictated the rest of the world.
And it still does.
Agreed.
Even though, you know, we're not selling as many records as, you know, other states are right now, like the South and the Midwest and all that type of stuff. But everybody knows New York is still a mecca of the hip hop, and everybody wants to come to New York to perform, regardless.
All day. All day. Like every ball player wants to play at the Garden. Every tourist wants to walk through Times Square.
Yeah.
It's the quintessential aspect. It's something we've watched on television all of our lives.
Yes. Everybody want to wear a Yankee fitted.
I'm looking at my Yankee fitted right now. Right now.
They wearing Yankee fitteds in Japan.
Real talk. Real talk.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, Tuffy, let me ask you. So, after Video Music Box, so what happened after that for you?
After Video Music Box, I decided I wanted to start a family. I tried that for a little while. I went into advertising for 6 years. That wasn't for me because it's one of the saddest things I learned early on in the 90s with advertising is as much as they loved our culture, they didn't like our ideas about our own voice.
Mm.
And as a man who's Black, Puerto Rican, and Dominican, and I have all of that flavor, I was in there telling them, this is what you need to do. Like we had a client, one of our biggest clients at the time. No, that's a lie. Not one of our biggest. One of our most urban clients was JBL, speaker company.
Mm-hmm.
They did not know what to do for JBL. I came up with commercial ideas. I came up with voiceover ideas. I came up with actual product for them. But because there was no one of color at the decision level making or decision making level, they would outsource to small Black companies. So,
Mm-hmm.
for instance, the budget for JBL was $2 million a year or a quarter. They would give this small Black company $400,000, keep that 1.6, and say,
Mm-hmm.
develop this. So the Black company was happy to get 400,000, but not knowing that they weren't getting the full budget. They
Right.
weren't enough, but they always came through.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, I loved advertising. I loved the ideas. I loved the creativity. I remember one of my first big clients was Levi. Levi's left their ad agency and they came to us because I was the new business guy. I went out to LA, I went to San Francisco where their office was, and I busted my behind for 3 months, making them understand what we were going to do for their new business and how it wasn't about changing what their methodology had been, but it was about rebranding it and making it more urban.
Mm-hmm.
They were concerned that we were going to try and make it Black. And I
Right.
said, I can't make blue jeans Black. It's not, especially blue jeans that are worn by farmers and the regular. I don't want to say country girl or cowgirl or cowboy, but that's basically what it was.
Yes, it
Levi had
was.
that image for a very long time. So I walked in there and I had my team and we did these funky commercials and they were like, oh my God, I don't know if we can play that, but those are brilliant. And we won the spot. So, that was a $30 million client walking in the door.
Right.
But that was also the craziness of what was going on in the world. They had tunnel vision for years. Most
Mm-hmm.
of these corporations had tunnel vision as to this is what the world is, and that's white, and this is what the world is, that's Black.
Wow.
Ugly. But we fought through it and we fought through it and we just kept changing their minds and rebranding and redirecting, and what a life. But that was a beautiful time for me. I enjoyed
Mm-hmm.
traveling. I enjoyed the beauty of using everything I learned from New York and Video Music Box and using it on another level.
Yeah.
Corporate, whole different ballgame.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned a lot. I did a lot. I kept making music videos. I kept doing interviews for different things. I started doing a little freelancing for BT and smaller companies. But I enjoyed what I did. And then I just kept rebranding myself. I think
Yes.
that's important. I worked on my album. I finished an album for Elektra. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and Elektra went through the whole weird situation where it was no longer Warner Brothers independently, Elektra independently, Atlantic individually became Weir, and Sylvia Rhone took over everything. My album got shelved along with 45 other artists.
Uh-huh.
Of that too. I mean, I think that's the whole thing. You have to be able to roll with the punches as they come because they come hard.
Yeah, they do.
Sometimes they're in your eye and you're walking away
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. That's
Uh-huh.
so I
Yeah.
learned a lot. I did get a little frustrated. The world, it can be frustrating, and it's frustrating for people who of color, but um, it's what we do, man. We have to consistently rebrand ourselves, no matter the age, no matter the abilities, no matter the team. We have to keep rebranding who we are. It makes
Yeah.
us who.
Exactly. So let's talk about the Tuffy project. What's that all about?
The Tuffy Project is my album. The Tuffy Project is my album. Is not just an R&B album or not just a pop album. It is my life on wax.
Mm-hmm.
It's right now it's 17 tracks. it starts with what, childhood. I got a lullaby on there. I got gospel on there. I got stories on there. I have some interview stuff that I got from Ralph for fun.
Mm-hmm.
I got Stevie Wonder on. When we did the movie Bamboozled, I'm in Bamboozled singing a song called "I Be Smacking My Hoes."
Mm-hmm.
When Stevie Wonder, who did the soundtrack for, did he do Bamboozled? He did 3 songs on Bamboozled. When he did the songs, he was in the studio with Spike, and he heard me singing, and he was like, "Yo, who is that? I want to do a song with him." And I was like, "Wow!" So Spike calls me with Stevie, and I have the conversation recorded. So I'm using a piece of that on the album because he
Mm-hmm.
was like, to hear Stevie Wonder say, "I be smacking my hoe," the way he went into it was hilarious.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was hilarious. But it's some beautiful things, man. There's a lot of nice, small, interesting stories. I talk about Hev. I talk about Mount Vernon. I talk about living in Brooklyn for the first time, which was, if you're a kid from the Bronx, living in Brooklyn is like shell shock.
Right.
Ball game. Waking up to the smell of fresh blood and fresh bread. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But you live and you learn from that. You grow from that. So it's a lot of little stories, and the whole album is my life. I got theme songs from television shows from the '80s on there. It's just crazy.
Did people ever like try to like put you and Heavy D like blood relation? Because I know Hev and I know you, and y'all got a lot of similarities, man. For real.
Listen, because I love Hev. I miss him. I miss him so much. Yes, we've gotten that a lot, especially when I was heavier and we were always around each other. Because when you're a New Yorker, you bumping everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he lost that weight. He went out to L.A. But people thought I was Jamaican, and I just wasn't telling nobody. And I was
Right.
like, why would I deny my Caribbean royalty? I would never do that. But I'm
Right.
not. But I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican, so I am Caribbean, but I'm not Jamaican.
Yes.
But yeah, I love that. I love that comparison. And then it's also being, big light skin. I was Marky D's brother. I was Heavy D's
Yeah.
brother. I was Fat cousin. I was Fat Man Scoop's boy
Yeah.
all the time. Fat and light skin.
Yeah.
That's why you and I don't look related, because you got that brown
Yeah.
beautiful skin, caramel.
Yeah. I just had Scoop on like a week ago.
Nice. I think I
Scoop
saw
is
that.
on. Huh?
I think I saw that on the page.
Yeah. Scoop is on here. So now you doing a movie right now. You're an actor, you casting director. What you doing?
I'm doing both on this project, and that's one of the things I kind of left out. I went into casting. I was doing casting with Classic Concepts, and I left it for a little while. I had my daughter. I became a dad. Being a dad changed me 100%. Being in a marriage that had no future also changed me 100%. But I kept casting. I kept fighting for it. Although one of the things that I don't like is they are still, as much as they show people of color in front of the camera, they still try to keep the power roles behind the cameras to less than black people, less than Hispanic people, less than the minority. So I'm constantly fighting for that. And I'm blessed to be working on this film that I'm doing now. It's a black cowboy film I mentioned to you yesterday. It's called The Harder They Fall. People can
Mm-hmm.
Google. It has an amazing cast. One of our cast members just won an Emmy the other night. That's Regina. I'm gonna mention that because I'll just get yelled at later.
Right.
But we have an amazing cast. The director is James Samuel. He wrote a brilliant script, and we got a whole lot of cameos. I was on set yesterday, and the director put Erica Badu on the phone because Erica's going to come out and do something. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of beautiful talent. This film is going to be amazing when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Wow.
Such a dope script. Such a dope script. I've been
So
blessed. I've been doing some great projects. We have 2 more lined up. I did we're talking to the last OG right now. We're talking to a few different companies. So I'm not mad at any of these projects that are allowing me to cultivate relationships and build bridges for more people of color.
wow. That sounds good. So when is this movie supposed might be coming out next year, 2 years?
We'll be finished by the first week of December. They'll be editing and scoring, and they'll probably be ready for the spring.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's
Oh
cool.
yeah, they've been trying to push for it because COVID has slowed the industry down, but it hasn't stopped the industry.
Right.
And stuff like Batman and the closures because of COVID, any project that is still shooting is just making the world a happier place. And we have them. So we're fighting for it. We're fighting real hard.
Right. So, is there anything else that you got going on that people don't know about outside of that?
I have a development deal that I'm working on. I have a company called One Umbrella Productions. We have a writers team under it. We have a production team under it. We have music development and music production under it. And we're just doing a little bit of everything. We have books that we're working on. I'm trying to finish 2 books by the end of the year. We have children's series, a children's book series, and a children's television series. There's a whole lot of things that are all in the process. And God has just provided the time, the mental state, the finances for it. So I'm very blessed. I'm not announcing too much stuff. I just spoke about a few things, but the end of the year is where things are going to change a lot, because we should have, I would say 60% of our projects should be ready to air by the first of the year. So we're really moving in the right direction. And even through CQ, there's a lot of CQ family here. I love all of y'all. CQ is Club Quarantine. Club Quarantine has created a bunch of avenues for everyone who's in it or everyone who's a part of it. And me and Plush, who is Tracy Anderson, she and I got a project that we're working on. I mean, God is just putting us all in some really amazing places. So I'm very thankful, very grateful.
Yes. Let me ask you a question. So you say you're working on books. And what aspect of a book are you doing?
Well, I have a book about my life.
Okay.
Called Memoirs of a Broken Man, because it talks about the good, the bad, the ugly of being a person of color, coming from the hood but not being hood.
Right.
And it's just an amazing. Writing a book is not an easy task. It started a long time ago. I started it on as an audio book, and some friends of mine who have written books like, listen, bro, you gotta really sit down, put the word pen to paper. So I started to really write, and writing takes you, it's therapeutic to write a story.
Yeah.
So I've learned a lot about who I am as a man, a lot of who I am as a human, a lot of who I am as my parents' son, as my sister's brother. And I was able to see the good and the bad of myself in relationships as well. So I recommend anyone, whether you want to write a book or not, write.
Right.
Any opportunity you can to write about who you are, the life you've lived, the path you've walked, the stories you've told. Because one, as we get older, we start to forget the details. So right now, it doesn't have to be a diary or a journal. Just write with the only intention of I'm losing the word right now, of dictating and learning who you are as a human from your own perspective. It's so important to find the words. It's so important to illustrate it for yourself to see, because sometimes when you're in a relationship, you see things one way, but when you write about it, you can see the perspectives that didn't allow you to see. You find out who you are in relation to everyone else. You got to take that time to write. It is very, I just said, you write until there's nothing left to write, until you're empty. And when you wake up the next day, I promise you'll have more to write.
And you want to hear something? They say when you write, you hear it twice.
True that.
You hear it when you write it, and then when you write it, you got to read what you wrote.
I use that. That's a technique for studying for auditions for me. When I have to when I get a 5-page or 10-page script or scene that I have to learn for an audition, I rewrite the whole thing, and I rewrite it in colors. Like I write for my character, I write in blue. For the person who I'm talking to, I write it in black, and then I write in yellow or purple or green for dictation as far as what's going on around the scene, and it allows me to see it in color and be in the scene with whoever else I'm opposite. So yeah, it helps you to retain more.
Right. That's the word. It's good work.
Writing it twice is important. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm blessed, man.
So, like you said, it's important for everybody once you get to a certain, I guess, to a certain level, not even age, but a certain level of your life, to write about it, man, to record it,
To record it, yeah. You
yeah,
got that right. All trying to come in. I
yeah,
apologize.
it's all right, it's okay, it's all right.
It's like, I'm still working while we're talking.
Yeah,
So, it is important to have a record of your life. It doesn't mean you have to put the book out. It just means you have something to reflect upon. If you want to write it and put it out there, make that happen too. And you don't
right.
have to wait for Random House to call you. You can do it yourself. There are ways to self-publish. It's really about trying to figure out who you are and what your platform is and growing beyond that.
Right. So let me ask you a question. So I see I had an anniversary not too long ago. Video Music Box or no?
Video Music's about to have their 30th anniversary a few years ago. We had a major concert in Brooklyn. Oh, it was out of control. KRS-One, Fat Joe, the Lost Boys. Oh my God. I couldn't even sit here and tell you everyone. Master Ace, Milk D, with so many artists. It was concert started at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, went until 2 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m.
Damn.
It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. iFuel helped put it together with Ralph and ourselves. It was phenomenal. I mean, nice and smooth. We had, it was just, you name the artist, crazy. It was crazy.
Everybody coming to pay homage, man.
No doubt. It was beautiful.
Coming to pay homage, man. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
Because all of them artists that you name and stuff like that, that's all right. All those artists that you name and stuff like that, you think about it. It was a time when budgets weren't even all that big and the rap game wasn't even all that powerful. It was for the love.
Yes.
You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? Y'all had a platform for people to come on and shine.
Yes, sir.
Gotta come back and pay homage, man.
I agree 100%. And it's always hard. Like, Big Daddy Kane had a show that day in LA. So we put him on the screen, before he went on. He got on and he was giving love. Like, it was that kind of day. Definitely homage was paid. The love was amazing. It was a beautiful situation. We had a ball. Ralph had a ball. I was exhausted. I think I slept the whole next day. I hadn't done that in years. It was just amazing. It was amazing. West Coast, East Coast, India. We had artists from all over the place performing. It was amazing. Really amazing.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
What's your top 5 rappers dead or alive?
Man, I really loathe that question. but I love so many people for different reasons.
It's yours. Tuffy's top 5, not the world's top 5. Tuffy top 5.
I will always put Biggie in there because I love Biggie. I will always put Guru in there, and this is not in order. I will always put Big Daddy Kane in there, and I will put Cool G Rap in there. And although I'm gonna get yelled at for not putting Eminem in there, I will probably put Rakim as my 5th, and that's it. I mean, I love hip hop, man. I love hip hop, and you can't forget Master Ace or Craig G or some of the others who kill the game every chance they get. I love Redman. I love Meth. I love so many dudes who bring it no matter what. A beat drops, no beat, they don't care. They going in. But certain people just they put pen to paper, and you sit there like, how did he just even phrase that? That's what I love about hip hop. Hip hop has no. It does have a blueprint, but and then I say blueprint, nothing about Jay-Z. It does have a blueprint, but it has no necessary. It has no method to it, because sometimes they just freestyle, and some of the best thing you've ever heard pops out now. And I love it. I have seen those moments. I've been there for those moments. I was there when KRS-One knocked Mark Fresh off the stage. I was there. I've been to a lot of shows, and I was there when we shot Night Living Bassheads, and Chuck D went off on a rhyme that I had never heard. He never recorded it. He just
Right.
freestyle, Chuck a freestyle.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
There are moments that you can never get back, but you love that they happen. So you just thank God that you were there for it. That's all.
Let me ask you a question. So how you feel about the state of the rap game right now? You feel comfortable with it?
I don't. I don't
Okay.
enjoy.
Talk about it.
I mean, I'm never mad at change, but I don't feel like people care about the music they're creating or putting out there.
Mm-hmm.
The 90s, we talked too much about what we had and what we didn't have because we were trying to get it. So
Mm-hmm.
then once we got it, the conversation changed a little bit. The lines changed, the lines blurred, and money was being made, and legends were speaking out, from a legendary point of view. The originators, the Grandmaster Flash and them, they weren't getting all the money, but they kept trying.
Right.
But these young cats today have no respect for what hip hop was.
Right.
And they don't respect the artists, so they don't care that it doesn't make sense. They don't care that there's no rhyme to the reason. They don't care that there's that back in the 90s, you wanted certain producers to work on your project. You reached
Mm-hmm.
out to Primo, you reached out to Pete Rock, you reached out to M, you reached out to Dr. Dre. These young cats think that they are all of that, so they don't need any of those.
Mm.
And that makes me sad because Primo can make a hard beat or a soft beat, and either one will sound like the dopest record.
Right.
As the rapper or whoever's on the track does their part.
Mm-hmm.
It scares me to turn on the radio today. There's nothing on the radio that I want to hear. That's why I'm very grateful for D Nice, because D Nice plays music I want to hear.
Right. I got you.
D Nice plays good music, not just he will play some stuff that these young people want to hear, but I
Mm-hmm.
think he does it to satisfy himself. I think he does it just to satisfy that group.
Right. Right.
Including his daughters. His daughters are young and they love that. They love this TikTok music because that's really
Yeah.
what it's.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But I can't do it. I say that all the time. I'm not going to be able to do it. Old school, and I'm going to be old school till the day I die. My daughter is 11. She loves TikTok. I can't listen to that music. It's just
Yeah.
not fun for me. Nothing about it is fun.
Let me ask you about, so how you feel about the women that we have in the rap game right now?
First of all, I love women making music all day long. I love what Versus is doing right now, combining these groups, especially the ladies, and it's not really a battle; it's an opportunity, and I love it. But it just, there was a time when you had to be very sneaky and strategic about how you talked about sex on a record.
Right.
Now it's so damn blatant and disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want my daughter listening to that music. I don't want my daughter singing those lyrics. I don't want some woman walking up on me and saying, "What's up, shorty? Why don't you pass it? No, let me
Yeah.
hold that. Let me hold that dick for you." What?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not cute.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So I can't. I don't respect where music is at today, but I do like seeing women taking charge in a lot of ways. I
Right.
just wish they would be a little more respectful about themselves because that's why I never recorded, like, I never recorded any songs that I could not let my daughter hear.
Right.
It
Mm-hmm.
matters. I
Yes.
think when you are recording and when you are a public figure to an extent, you are representing your parents, your children, your community. That
Yes.
so there are certain things I will not do.
Right.
I don't
Hey.
care about money. I care about making good product.
Right. Quality.
Quality is
Music
everything.
you can listen to now and forever.
Yes, sir. And that's what it's
See, that's the
about.
difference from the music we grew up on. You
Yes,
can
sir.
still listen to Eric B, Rakim, KRS-One, you know what I'm saying? You know, and still rock to their beat.
All
This
day.
music now is just for now. You're not gonna listen to that later, man.
Not even a little
You
bit.
could put Luther Vandross, Teddy Pendergrass in and rock to that. You're
All
not
day.
gonna listen to Trey songs later on. You're not listening to that, man. Sorry about Trey. I like his music, but I'm not listening to that later, man.
Listen, I can't argue with that at all. And that's why I like people like Avant who keep making quality music. You know, he
Yeah.
keeps do quality music. Yeah, you're right about Trey. I mean, at least, I mean, Neo makes for both a little bit sometimes.
Yes.
And if you think back, Drew Hill was on the cusp of making for both, and then Cisco lost his mind and became
Right.
another ball game.
Yeah, that dude. Yeah.
It makes me laugh that you say that because my mom used to make jokes when I'll never forget when Method Man was out and one of the that song METHOD. My mother said, "Are you going to be 70 years old singing that song?" I was like, "I probably am," because it's just like watching the Electric Company. All he's doing is spelling his name.
That's all he's doing.
What's the problem?
Yeah. That's all he's doing. Yeah. She didn't get it.
Yeah, she didn't get it, but that's okay. She'll get it as she's moving because I love my mom. I keep it real with her.
That's right, but that was good rap anyway, though.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was.
That was still a good era. You know what I'm saying?
No question.
And he wanted everybody to know who he was.
And I was
drilling in your head.
To cow.
Exactly. And he's still relevant today. He's doing some amazing stuff with his career also.
Yeah, he's doing Power, the Ghost, the Power book. I'm real proud of him. He's grown so much. And I still have stories to tell about him. He used to, we'd be on set, and he used to like to drop money to see if somebody would return it to him. I loved him for that.
Word.
I'd watch him do it. He'd pull it out of his pocket, be slick about it, and then he kind of put it in the side of his seat, and then he'd get up and leave, and the money would kind of fall into the seat, and he'd wait to see who's going to return it. He did that a lot.
Wow.
Yeah,
what was his purpose?
Just to see who was loyal. It made sense. I returned him at least 3 times in my lifetime. I guess he was going to see if I really needed it.
Yeah. That I heard of that. That's a real strategic way of seeing who's loyal, who's not. I know a lot of other people who did it in a different type of way,
right,
to test people's loyalty too.
I think loyalty is such a key aspect of our life.
Yeah.
And we've lost a lot of loyal brothers, and we've lost sight of what loyalty means in relationships with people. So I'm hoping that loyalty and trust and honesty returns, man.
Yeah.
We have a lot of work ahead of us.
Yes, we do. Hey, so can you get everybody your links, your social media links and stuff like that again?
Well, Tuffy BX NYC is my Instagram. It's also my man, I forget all of these. It's my TikTok. I've never posted anything, but my daughter made me get a page. I am also I have a man. I have Facebook, but I really just use Instagram the most. And I'm very reachable. It's also my Gmail. If you need to email me, tuffybxnyc@gmail.com is my way. And I'm here. If you need me, reach out. If you don't need me, pray for me.
Hey, Tuffy, man, I know you're busy, man. Thank you for taking time out your schedule, brother.
Always
wish
love
you much success.
Thank you, my dude.
Everything that you do, man. A lot of love, man. We go way back, man. You know?
Don, you know I love you, brother. I respect you.
Yeah, always love, man. You be safe out there, man.
Thank you, brother. I'm looking forward
to see you around the town. I'm going to check on you.
Please check on me. I miss my daughter every day.
Yeah.
I was waiting. If she FaceTime me right now, I might have answered, but she's doing homework. She's in school till 2 o'clock. I love you.
Love you too, bro.
Stay focused.
Yes. I'll talk to you soon, bro.
Hugs, my brother.
Much success always, bro.
Peace.
Peace.
Don't hurt nobody.
Nah, I'm easy, man. Take care, bro.